Already a divide when Karunanidhi announced his retirement. There's been this vertical split in his family, and now his absenteeism in the post-lunch session. What do you make of this?
I agree.
Yes.
I think he has a legitimate grievance. For once, he was responsible for reviving the party in the south in his own street smart way. I don't want to go into details, and he has been successful in getting the party, winning all the by-elections. Call it Tirumangalam formula, whatever. You need such men also, street smart people also. But there has been a long-standing silent tussle between him and Stalin. The silent understanding was that Alagiri would rule the south and Stalin would be overall in charge of the Tamil Nadu. And later on, Alagiri was shifted to Delhi to take on the role of the senior Maran as a mentor and advisor, but he's not comfortable in Delhi. He wants to return to state politics. That's very evident. From what happened at the meeting today, he was not even seated on the dais. A very senior man, elder to even Stalin in age, he was not even seated on the dais. And as your reporter rightly said, when Kanimozhi's role in organizing a social event was acknowledged, why couldn't the party acknowledge his role in getting the party elected, win in all the by-elections?
All right, I'm going to just bring in Shabir back into our discussion. He's got a question for you. Shabir, go ahead.
Yes, sir. What do you think about Alagiri's plan to return to state politics? What do you have to say about that?
It can't happen immediately because he's a union minister, and all said and done, so long as Karunanidhi is the patriarch, is the head of the family and head of the party, so long as he is around, I don't think he will take any such precipitate step. But once in the post Karunanidhi retirement phase or whatever, anything may happen. This arrangement may not hold good at all. The frictions are already very evident. I was told it was Alagiri was responsible for bringing Rajendran into the party fold virtually. And tit for tat, Radhakrishnan, Stalin men brought in Rajendran. This kind of a silent struggle is going on under the surface. It will come out in the open once Karunanidhi leaves the scene. It cannot be helped.
Okay. Now, at today's General Council meeting, the different resolutions, particularly about the Mulai Periyar resolution, what do you make of that?
I fully endorse it's not the DMK stand, it's the Tamil Nadu government stand that in appointing a committee under Justice J.S. Anand, the Supreme Court is virtually reopening an issue that has already been settled by the Mittal Committee. That is whether the height of the dam could be raised up to 142. The committee said it could be raised, and Supreme Court even passed an interim order on that. And to circumvent that, Kerala passed an ordinance and then followed it up with a bill which is under challenge by the Tamil Nadu government. Instead of going into the constitutionality of the issue, Supreme Court is now reopening the whole issue of safety of the dam. And it is just reinventing the whole issue. It is going to delay the whole process. That's Tamil Nadu's feeling. And but I feel the Supreme Court, if you go through the history of Kaveri dispute, is loath to interfere in interstate river water disputes. At one point during the worst crisis in the Kaveri, Supreme Court virtually told the center of the two states, don't throw the ball into our court, no pun intended. So this is the attitude of the Supreme Court. So that's why Karunanidhi is right in saying the center should intervene, there should be a political solution, but center doesn't want to get involved for obvious political reasons. It has to show political will and try to resolve the issue. No issue is impossible to resolve once there is a will.
In other news, a 49-year-old automobile financier, Augustine Nellaya from Tirunelveli, was hacked to death by an 8-member gang in the city last night. Police say that previous enmity might be the cause of his death. Sources from the police also say that 3 of the victims' brothers were murdered in Tirunelveli a few weeks ago, and that Augustine was the only eyewitness to the murder. The body has been taken to the Government General Hospital for post-mortem. No arrests have been made in the murder so far. In national news, the Telangana issue is on the boil again. The Osmania University campus in Hyderabad remained tense after a student set himself ablaze. This comes after police foiled an attempt of students to take out a rally. The student suffered nearly 70% burns and his condition is said to be critical. Earlier, hundreds of students took out a rally to the State Assembly, threatening to disrupt the state budget. They were demanding the resignation of all elected representatives from Telangana. At least 20,000 security personnel have been posted around the city to prevent any flare-up. Following several embarrassing corporate scams and market frauds, India Incorporated seems to be convinced that corporate governance is the way for better business and more profits. But activists say for better corporate governance, they need to think about society first, and the rest will fall in place.
Corporate governance seems to be the new buzzword. Having been mauled by the economic slowdown and huge corporate frauds, corporate houses now believe that they should work towards not just satisfying the laws, but following them in true spirit. But activists are telling them that they should contribute to society directly through corporate governance.
Where certainly we need corporates, we need growth, we need industry, but we also need a social conscience that goes with it.
Corporates are being increasingly encouraged to pave the way for overall development in terms of poverty, secularism, environment, society, and not just generating employment opportunities, and that too through direct involvement. And more people are encouraging this thought.
Ultimately, you are born out of society and you have to do something for the society, the environmental challenges, because it's not affecting one corporate, it is affecting the entire planet.
Corporate governance, we cannot speak independently without speaking about corporate social responsibility or ethics. All are interrelated and interdependent.
And perhaps working towards bridging the gap between the poor and the have-it-all might work for the benefit of India Inc. In Chennai with Ramanathan, Minal Shah, NDTV Hindu.
A quick look now at how gold and silver have been doing today. Coming up on the late night news, if your pet kitten or pup has gone missing, there might just be some good news for you. That's coming up in a minute.